All right, everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Enlightened Entrepreneur Podcast. My name is Alexander Waller. I'm very happy to meet you here, I guess. And we have an amazing topic for today. We have a very amazing topic today, probably the number one topic humanity wrestles with. But before we get to that, I am so fucking happy and excited to finally do this. Like, you have no fucking idea. I've been planning to do this for a couple of years already, but the time wasn't ripe. The idea wasn't ready. Right? It wasn't ripe to be set free into the world, if you want to put it like this. And what we're going to talk about here, we're going to talk about everything that has to do with working on yourself, with expanding your consciousness. We're going to do all the good shit, but we're all going to base it in this reality. Yeah, let's put both sides together, the spiritual and the material, if you want to call it like that. Yeah, and it's mostly if you are somebody who wants to do his own thing. If you want to do your own thing in this world which is in a very bizarre state right now, right? You look at the world, you're like, what the fuck is everybody doing? Like, what are you doing? Can you please just sit down for a second and think about what you're doing? Maybe meditate, maybe drink some tea. And just for a second, chill the fuck out. What the fuck are you doing? So yeah, if you are one of those people who are looking at the world like this, like, hey, what is everybody doing? And you want to do your own shit, and you're doing your own shit already. You're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, you're an artist, you're one of the doers out there, right? You're not just like, I'm living, what a nice thing, I'm alive, oof. And so I'm just gonna spend my time scrolling through Instagram, jerking off, and going to McDonald's. Like, you're not one of those guys, right? You want to get shit done, you want to do something, and you want to set your soul free, because that's what we're all here for, right? Our souls came to this earth to do something, to experience something, to change something. And you've been feeling this consciously or unconsciously. Maybe you put it in those words that I just used, or you put it in different words like, I just want to be my own boss. I just want to be happy. I just want to work on myself. I just want to be myself and do what I want to do and have no boundaries and be free. Right? Maybe you've put it in these words. Anyway, you're in the right podcast. I'm going to talk all about the good stuff. And I've got some great guests coming, I can tell you already. I actually pre-produced, I think, 10 interviews already. And I'm very happy to finally release all of this. And yeah, if you've been following me for some time already in the German-speaking market, right? That is so amazing that finally my English friends. Hi everyone who knows me, who doesn't speak a single word of German, who can finally understand what I'm doing without me sounding like a maniac trying to explain to you what I'm doing. And now you can just listen. Isn't that great? For everyone who's been following me in the German-speaking market, or if you're a client of mine, welcome. Everything you know from me and my work, we're gonna step it up a notch here, because doing stuff in English is just way cooler than only in German, because you can just talk to the whole world, right? And as cheesy as it may sound, but we really need to get closer together, like as a species. It sounds very cheesy, very spiritual, hippie, like, oh, we just gotta hug each other. But for fuck's sake, look at the world. Yeah, we really have to. Like, we really have to handle some shit right here. And let's handle the most important shit. The most important shit. Let's just handle it with this episode. Pretty much I can just stop the podcast after this episode. You know why? After this episode, we will have said everything. That's it. That is it. Because you know what we're going to talk about today? Our good friend, death. Did you ever meet death? Did death ever come around into your life and was like, hey pal, I'm gonna kill your best friend right now. And you're like, oh shit, this sucks. Or maybe death comes and says, hey pal, you like your mom? Well, whoops, I'm gonna take her with me now. You're like, oh damn, this really hurts. And then he comes back and he says, no, wait. You know this one man you really love? Yeah, I'm gonna take him with me as well. Or maybe you've met him personally. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm gonna take you right now. And maybe because of one tiny coincidence, he was like, okay, not today. You can live another day, another week, another month, another year, another decade, whatever. And if you've ever met our good friend Death, well, then you're gonna love today's episode. And if you've never met Death, or you think Death is not your friend, oh, you're gonna love this episode even fucking more. Because why not just start there? Why not just start there? What did I just say? That death just took your mom, but not, that wasn't a bad mom joke. I just thought about it, like, it could sound like a really, really bad your mom joke. Anyway. Why is death your best friend? Why is he your good friend? Why is he my best friend? Why is he your best friend? Or if he isn't so far, why should you make him your best friend? Well, what's your biggest fear? Communists taking over and getting disowned by the government. Oh boy, that would really suck. But you know what sucks even more? Death. Because then this game is over. And I guess you want to keep playing this game of life, right? But I bet most of you, and please don't take this as an offense, because I fall into the same trap. I make the same mistakes. I forget every day. Most of you, let's put it like this, most of us, all of us, right? All of us are living as if we're living forever. We do. And if you really take a good look at it, it's obvious that we're all living as if we're just gonna live forever. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm gonna follow my purpose tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the. I had a talk with a client this week. She's amazing. She's really fucking amazing. She's a designer, and we were talking about which projects of hers lighten her soul up the most and which don't. And she's like, well, these kinds of projects, I work on them all night. I love it. I just start until, she doesn't even talk like this. I work on this all night. I start in the evening and before I know it, the sun comes out. I love it so much. But those projects make me the most money. And we're just going through the numbers and it's like, I'm looking at it and it's like, yo, sister, why are you doing these fucked up projects for the money? Well, because it's a little more security, it's better for the bank account. It's like, yeah, but if you had all this extra energy, these are draining your energy. This is draining your energy, right? And put it into the stuff that you actually love. Wouldn't you make way more money? She's like, that's actually true. And we went a little deeper into it. And why doesn't she give up the safe, the secure things? Because she's afraid of dying. She's afraid of dying. There's no fear of rejection. Let's say you have a sales call and you're afraid to call. It's like, oh, I'm scared I'm getting rejected. No, you don't give a fuck about rejection. You don't give a fuck about rejection. But your whole body, your whole subconscious is like, we could die from this. If we get rejected, we get rejected out of the tribe, and then some wild animal will kill us, or some robber will get us, and we will die. She's thinking, if I give up these projects, I'm gonna die. I'm going to die, like right now. As soon as I give up these projects and only focus on my favorite customers, I am going to die. Does she think that consciously? Of course not. She's afraid of not making enough money, which is fucking retarded, right? I mean, she's been making her own money and being her own boss for such a long time. She nailed this topic, right? And you probably too. If you've been self-employed or you're an entrepreneur, you have a company for a couple of years or years already, you're good. Stop fucking worrying about money, because it's not about the money. It's never about the fucking money. You really think it's about the fucking money? Are you fucking... What is wrong? It's not about the money. It's about the fear of death. If you go down the whole ladder of fears, at the end, there's fear of dying. It's fear of dying. Oh, you're afraid to give up these shitty projects to go to the amazing projects. Why? Well, because then I'm going to lose security. Okay, why is that bad? Well, because then my standard of living could go down. Well, why is that bad? Well, because then I could become sick. Why is that bad? Well, then I could become homeless. Why is that bad? Well, then I could live in a very dangerous situation. Why is that bad? Well, because then I could die. So, let's meet death. Death is actually a very nice fella, because he's doing all of that for you. He's doing all of that for you. And you actually like him. You don't just like him, you love him. I invite you to invite death to tea, like I'm doing right now. Death is actually sitting right here. Maybe right there, or maybe right there, maybe right there. Because you're like, what, in my room, what the fuck? Don't worry, he's cool, he's fine. Well, why is he sitting here? Why is he our friend? Well, he's sitting here because we all can leave this life any second. You've heard stories, or you've experienced stories in your life where somebody just, maybe young person, healthy, just dropped dead, or car accident, or whatever, just, gone. You just talked on the phone yesterday and boom, never to be seen again, never. And death is always there because, well, has anyone ever escaped death? No, right? So he's always looking over our shoulders, looking at us. But in a good way, because imagine a world without death. Imagine that shit. God, it would suck. Why would you get up in the morning? What? Seriously, why would you get up in the morning? Because at some point, let's say no accident ever hits you, then you can theoretically live forever. If nobody kills you, if you don't get in an accident or anything else bad happens to you, you're just... Exactly, this puts it in... If you're just listening, I'm making like this whatever gesture, like... Like that's what we would run around all day, the whole world, just looking at each other like, so, what's up? What the fuck are we doing here? It's been 1,000 years, I'm bored as hell. What are we doing? Just everybody running around bumping into each other like, man, that's what the world would look like without death. You would have no motivation to do anything. Nothing. You would probably get depressed. Imagine, because you would have so much time on your hands that you probably become a better philosopher than Aristotle or Seneca or whatever. You probably have a lot of wisdom in your hands. And then you notice, well, why is there no death? It sucks. I don't have any motivation to do anything. No incentive to do anything. It's actually boring. Probably, now that I think about it, you probably wouldn't become a deep philosopher, because if there's no death, there's no intention to do anything at all. It's just boredom. It's just spending time, wasting time. So yeah, actually, I wanted to get to the thought by thinking about, you probably had a lot of time to meditate, to think, to reflect, and through this get a lot of wisdom, and through this actually find out, well, no one would have any intention to do anything, so no, that doesn't work. Like, nobody would have any intention to do anything. If you would know you couldn't die, would you really do the stuff that you're doing right now? Would you really look at all these things that you're doing that are not really important and be like, yeah, that's the best use of my time. It's a really good use of my time. No, you wouldn't do any of that. If death wasn't there, life would suck. Because since we all know, even though we try to not look at it, that we're going to die someday, this puts a lot of positive pressure on us if we use this wisely. And it's not just about thinking about death. It's actually, those of you who ever met death, maybe in your family or with friends, know that it's way different when it happens to you than when you just hear about it or see it on TV. It's like, oh, people are dying over there. Wow, it's gotta suck to... Well, lucky me that I can't die, right? Because you've never experienced death. Then it's almost like death doesn't exist. And let me say it again. Then it actually is as if there was no death. Because if you've never met death, or you never thought about the way we're talking about it and thinking about it today, then you would actually live like you're living forever, like most people. There's no real positive pressure to do anything. But if you ever met death, or you're feeling what I'm saying here, then you actually notice, well, I'm doing a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be doing if I knew I would leave soon. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing I wouldn't be doing if I knew I would leave soon. And there's a lot of stuff I would be doing way more of if I was really sure that I'm going to leave soon. Very soon. You would live your life differently. All the moments that you use, right, to get your emotional fix, your fixation, your addiction to negative emotions, to outrage, to anger, to shock, to depression. All these little things in your daily life that you actually use to get back to this negative emotional state. Would you do that if you knew you were dying? Or would you savor every moment? Probably the latter. All the things that you do, that you only do because of rational reasons, right? Not because your soul wants you to do it, but because it's easy. All these things, maybe clients you have, maybe work you're taking on, maybe people you're spending time with, maybe just randomly scrolling through social media or whatever. Would you be doing all of that if you knew that you would leave soon? Probably not. Probably not, huh? Would you act so aggressively and unfairly and downright tyrannical against yourself if you knew you would leave soon? And this tea is amazing. Turkish apple. So shout out to all the Turkish people who created this tea. Fucking amazing. No, you would not be doing that. You would do a lot of stuff different. You would differently, sorry, my English is sometimes a little rusty, right? You would spend way more time with the people that you actually love and way less time with the people that are like, or that you're kind of okay with. You would not get your negative emotional addictions, you would not let your negative emotional addictions get the best of you and drag you down all the time. Nah. You would not be your own tyrant. You would not act this tyrannical towards yourself. You would not do all the things that you're thinking or that you're telling yourself that they are very important and that it's logical and that it's safe to do them. Nope, you would 100% live from the seed of your soul because, well, death actually shows you your soul. You know why? When's the moment when you're losing everything? Everything. It's when you're dying. That's where you literally lose everything. Imagine losing your business, your wealth right now. Imagine losing your money. Imagine losing your house, your business, your car, your watches, your gold, all the valuables that you own. You would just lose it. Would you lose your shit? Like, would you go a little crazy? Would you fight against it and like try everything that you can to avoid losing all of your wealth? Probably, huh? Now, imagine you're losing your friends, your loved ones. Man, we're getting really dark today, huh? But hey, you gotta go towards the darkness to see the light. Yeah? You gotta go into your own shadow to find your own gold. That's what Carl Jung always used to say. I bet that's the exact quote. Son, you gotta go into the shadow to find your gold. That's his exact quote. No, but really, you have to be willing to go into the darkness to find your own light, to see your own light. Now imagine you losing your friends, your family, the people that you love. How much would you fight to not lose them? A lot. Well, but that's still not losing everything. You just lost all your wealth, all the people you love. But you're still conscious. You're still here. You can still change your life. You can still change your emotions, your thoughts, your experience. Then imagine losing that as well. Ultimate end. How much would you fight to not lose that? And this is exactly where light meets darkness. Because death is the ultimate darkness, right? It's just what happened before you were born. You don't know. I don't know what happened before I was born. I don't know. Just nothingness, right? Wasn't painful, wasn't terrible, wasn't boring. It was just like, what was it? Nothingness. It's not even darkness, right? It's just nothingness. But now you're here. There's something. There's light, because you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can touch. There's light, right? This could only be here if there was an opposite. And guess what? There is an opposite. There's death and life, darkness and light, nothingness and something, right? It's here. So without the nothingness, there couldn't be something. Just like most of the universe is empty space. There's nothingness. So thank God for our good friend death. Because if he wasn't there, we couldn't cherish and appreciate everything that we have. And death shows us the most basic thing that we forget. You maybe appreciate the friends you have, the health you have, the wealth you have, your family. That is amazing. It's everything, I love it. More power to you, more of it. But the most basic thing, the absolute most basic thing, and this is so cool, is just being alive, just being conscious. And how often do we forget that? How often do we forget that we're conscious beings, that we're actually here and we can experience and we can shape the world with our thoughts, our words, our actions, our relationships? That's fucking crazy. Don't tell me that's not crazy. That is fucking crazy. And there was a point in time, actually one point. Yeah, it was exactly one point in time. No, all of eternity, it wasn't like this. We used to be, we still are monkeys, but we have the same ancestors as the modern monkeys. And now we're here. And I'm talking into a goddamn camera with a microphone that is somehow recording. This is actually recording. Yeah. That would suck, huh? If it wasn't recording, goddamn. No, but we're here. And I can talk to this camera and you can listen to it, you can watch it on YouTube or wherever. And the more you focus on this, the more the quality of everything expands. The more conscious you become, the more you actually focus on the fact that you are alive and that you're conscious, everything else becomes better, everything becomes brighter. It's as if you can see more clearly, you can feel more clearly, you can taste more clearly. Everything becomes better. And death is here to show, or death is I don't want to say opposite, but he's here to show this to us. I mean, if he wasn't here, right? If he wasn't here. Or let's put it the other way. If you would really focus on your own death, and if you would really be aware of your own passing, and my neighbors are going crazy as well, and be really conscious of it, that every second you spend on this planet, you're getting older and you're a little closer to death. Would you really fall into unconscious behaviors? Would you really let your thoughts just drift endlessly into a negative direction that hurts you and the people around you? If you were conscious of you dying every second, would you really be wasting your energy on so much petty bullshit? Would you really be working on the stuff that doesn't set your soul free? Nah, you wouldn't. Because you would be conscious every second how fucking amazing this is, that you are alive, that you are conscious. And you wouldn't bitch about the stuff in your business that you're annoyed because you have to do it, that annoy you because you have to do it. Or the customers that maybe are a little irritating. Or your girlfriend or your boyfriend nagging about this little thing. Or you neglecting your health emotionally, physically, and mentally. You wouldn't be doing it if you were conscious every second what a precious gift this is. That this is the only gift that counts. The only gift. All the gifts you ever get are nothing without the gift of life. Because without it, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. So, since we got this out of the way, that being conscious of death is actually very good for you. It's very good for you. It gives you a certain pressure, because you know at some point all of this is going to be over. it sets you free as well from so many bullshit fears and worries and whatever. What if we now get to know death a little closer? Make him your best friend. Make him your best friend. How would you go about doing that? Because this is actually the thing that matters the most, right? As we just learned. We all know that we're going to die, but we forget it. We push it away from us. But if we were conscious of this fact every second, there would be no useless rumination on negative thoughts. There would be no holding tightly to negative emotions. There would be no getting aggravated over little pet peeves. There would be so few negative states. All right, my neighbors are really going crazy. I hope I don't know if they're having a party. It's Friday night, like 1 a.m. when I started to record this video. So probably something like this. Maybe you don't even hear it. Anyway. So how do we stay conscious of this? How do we make death our best friend? Because if death becomes our best friend, you know who also becomes our best friend? Life. Like they go together, like siblings. Like a pair of two. They have to go together. It doesn't work the other way. You can't have the sun without the moon. You can't have up without down. You can't have men without women. Well, apparently today you can have everything. Like I'm gender number 1322. Whatever gender that is. But I'm this now. I'm actually an Apache attack helicopter. You need to have these opposites. And if you want to be friends with life, like really good friends, you have to be good friends with death. It's like, if you want to get this one girl, she's just amazing. Oh, but she has this annoying sister, for fuck's sake. Oh, God, she's so annoying. She's killing me. Literally, she's death. This is death. I met death. She's the sister of my ex-girlfriend. I met death. Very unpleasant encounter. No, for real, you want to get this one girl. She's just amazing. Or you want to get this one guy, right, for the girls. Like, she's amazing, but she's very close with her sister, and if her sister doesn't approve with you, she doesn't go out with you. So now you have to learn to get along with her sister. And while you're doing this, you actually learn, well, her sister is fucking amazing. This is awesome. Like, I get the girl that I wanted, and now I also made a cool friend because she's like one of my best guy friends, but just as a girl. That's amazing. This is kind of the relationship with death and life. You want life, right? You want life. Even if you want to die, you want life. Looking back, when I was suicidal, when I was depressed, I wanted life. I just didn't know how to get it. So the next best thing was like, okay, get me out of it. Or before I go, at least give me the most amazing experience, the most crazy experience, which is dying, right? It's kind of what it is. If you're depressed, this sounds like a crazy experience, a very intense experience, dying, and it actually released me of this shitty depression. Oh yeah, I'll take it, of course. Even if you want to die, you're actually craving life. So, if you're craving life, hell yeah, get to know death. Get to know death. Every second, think about death being there with you. And you're gonna, at first it's gonna feel weird because you're used to all these horrible tales about death and these horrific stories. But actually he's a pretty cool guy. He's just there to remind you how precious life is, how amazing life is. For example, every time you walk through a doorway, you gotta think about, whoa, all right, I'm dying. I'm literally dying this second. Damn, that means I'm alive. God, I love life. Life is amazing. And you keep death in your consciousness. Because if you keep death in your consciousness, you automatically get life. Right? You get along with the annoying sister, you automatically get the girl you actually wanted. Automatically. Like, you don't even have to work for it. It's just, I get along with her. Oh, great. She approves, so I get it. So now I get to date her sister. It's amazing. And like this, you actually get very ballsy. That's the cool thing, right? And also, don't get me wrong. This is not, like, I'm working on this as well. Everybody works on this. It's not like there's some enlightened, actually there are a couple, and I've met, I would say, 2 of them. It's a crazy experience. It is an amazing experience. Yeah, anyway, different topic. We all forget, right? That's part of life. We forget that we're dying, but we can remind ourselves every second. We should. We really should. Because this is behind all of our fears. You get it? Like, do you start to get it? Or did you get it already? The stuff that we were talking about in the beginning of the podcast, that this is actually the only fear there is. All other fears, or most other fears, there are probably fears that are different as well, but most other fears come down to this. You're afraid of losing your business, you're afraid of dying. You're afraid of getting rejected, well, you're afraid of dying. You are afraid of speaking to a certain person, well, you're afraid of dying. You're afraid to change a certain project or change something in your business, well, you're afraid of dying. Oh, I'm afraid of rejection, I'm afraid of being poor, I'm afraid of this. No, you're not, you're afraid of dying. That's it. If you go down all the way, it's always this. Just ask why. Just ask why 100 times. Why am I afraid of this? Why this? Why this? Why this? Why? At the end, you come to death. It's like, oh yeah, because then this fucking amazing game would end. Do you get it now? Why all the fear? Well, what death is behind all these fears, behind all of them, and this is like it solves everything. It solves everything. It solves everything. It makes everything so insignificant and so significant at the same time. Being reminded of death and being very close to death makes every pet peeve, every annoyance, every problem so fucking insignificant. And every small little thing, like just this tea, so fucking significant. So fucking significant. Because you're conscious and you're alive. And you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah, but the government's telling, fuck them. This, see, also, it's like you see through this whole weird human spiel that we're doing. We all unconsciously know how the rules of the game work. We all know it. We know how the rules of society work. We know how the rules of money work. We know how the rules of hierarchies work. We know how the rules of all of this works, unconsciously. But we're forgetting. And then we're acting like, oh shit, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to do it. Yes, you do. Of course. Of course. You're just forgetting. And the more you get to know death, the more these unconscious rules become conscious, and then you can use them. Because you just, isn't this what being enlightened is, or becoming more conscious is? You're just seeing the matrix, you're just seeing all the rules of the different games, and then you can decide to play certain games, and you can decide to opt out of them. And I've known people who have opted out. Not in terms of killing themselves, but opted out of the whole, literally the whole world. They were just, left their businesses, left their teams, left their home, left just like, I'm out, bro. I'm out, because they were too far. They were too awake. I'm serious. They were too awake. And not too awake in terms of, oh, that makes life bad. No, because the more conscious, the more awake, the more alive you get, the better life becomes. Because everything becomes so incredibly easy. And everything becomes so incredibly vibrant. So vibrant. But since you then see all the rules, it's like you're not just understanding a certain part of life, it's like you're understanding life. And if you understand life, you're like, okay, I get it. What now? Do I want to keep playing it? Do I want to maybe only keep playing this game or this game? Or am I getting the fuck out of here? Like I said, I know people who decided to get the fuck out. Because just look at the state of the world right now. You can easily look at all of this and go, you know what? I'm going to the woods. I'm leaving. Bye. Bye. But imagine not doing that from a point of anger or frustration or depression, but from a point of, yeah, that's how life is right now. Nothing I can do. Not negative, not positive, just, this is what life is. And you know what? I've seen enough. And leaving. But also, this is probably not relevant for 99.9% of us. Because even if we ever get this far, most of us won't opt out. Because here's the fun part. The more you understand life and the different rules of life and the different rules of different parts of life, well, then it's pretty easy to just win the game. To literally win at life. Don't you want to win at life? I mean, I want to win at life. I'd say we pretty much are winning at life. I mean, I know if you're a client of mine or if you from a German community, or if you're just a friend of mine or acquaintance or international client, whatever, I know that you, a lot of you are really winning at life. Like, holy fuck, I'm impressed. Holy fuck, you are really winning at life. Damn. Damn. And some of you are not realizing it, and we talked about it in our sessions. Like, you're not realizing it. But you'll get there, don't worry. You win at life. You just win at life. Because it's so easy to see all these unconscious rules and then to work with them consciously. And you know what this feels like because you are amazing at certain things. You are an expert at certain things, right? Let's say you're an expert at marketing. Somebody sees an ad and doesn't think a lot about that. You see all the rules behind it, the whole structure, the whole matrix becomes obvious to you suddenly. Not suddenly, it's just because your brain started to work like this. And since you can see all these rules like this, all the structures, the whole matrix, the whole code behind it, the ones and zeros, and you can start using that. And suddenly you make millions of euros or dollars and everybody else is like, oh my God, how are you doing this? And you're just like, well, just look at it. Can't you see that? No, we can't. Well, just look at it. See ones and zeros, like the whole matrix, the whole rules behind it. Just look at it, no, I can't see it. And you're like, oh shit, they can't see it. See, this is where you mastered a certain area of life. You know the rules in this area of life. You know them so well, you can just look at it and be like, boom. Or maybe your physical health. Maybe you've spent years, decades into learning about physical health, gut health, muscles, mobility, the whole 9 yards, your whole body. And somebody comes to you like, my neck hurts, and the doctors can't figure out why, the therapist as well. And you just look at them and you see everything, like the way they move, their lifestyle, what kind of shoes they wear, everything, how they eat, how they deal with their stress and their work. And you see, oh yeah, if you would just do these 3 things, your pain would go away. Because you cracked the code of this area of life. Now imagine all of life is working for you like this. All of it. Because this is what's happening the more conscious you get, the more you invite death into your life. Because your life is light, right? It's light. But if there's only light, well, it's not very obvious that there is light, right? As if you're just being here and the light is turned on. You don't even notice that there's light. It's just, yeah, I can see it's light. But have you ever been into a dark room and then suddenly you turn on the light, or at night, and you're like, oh, light. Light. Oh, light is amazing. Well, you gotta invite death from time to time, darkness from time to time, to actually see the light. And I'm not saying death is dark, it's just a metaphor. You get it, right? Before somebody's like, well, death is not, but you said death is not negative. Yeah, it's just a metaphor. Like, you gotta invite him all the time. And the more you invite him, the more you actually notice how bright you are shining, how much light there is inside of you. And your life becomes very, very bright, very bright. And then everything becomes very bright. And the brighter everything gets, the more all the shadowy, all the dark spots that everybody else is not seeing become obvious to you. Like the marketer I just told you about. Like the physical health guy I just talked to you about. All the other people have blind spots in these areas. Just shadowy spots, they don't see it. But since they always invited, or he always invited death back into his life, right? Or in this case, being a beginner student, right? Learning all the time, always inviting the beginning and the end into his life, meaning, well, I don't know about this area yet. I don't know about this area yet. I want to be more conscious in this area. Through this, all of these shadowy spots, which all the other people have, disappear for him because he shines brighter and brighter and brighter. Just in this certain area, right? Physical health or marketing, like I just said. But now imagine you do that for your whole life, just for existence. Everything becomes brighter because no matter where you go, you shine your light on everything. And problems seem so easy to fix suddenly, so easy to fix. It doesn't mean there's no work involved. That's not what I'm saying, because I think a lot of people, and I used to be like this myself, misunderstand, oh, that means I just have to work on my consciousness and not work on my business. No, that's not how it works. But, or maybe it does. It's like, imagine in 5 years, I'm like, oh shit, that's actually how it works. Just sit there, meditate 24 hours a day, and everything else will get handled. No, it's not how it happens. It's how it works. But you just invite death all the time. Darkness all the time. Because you become very bright. And bright people have a bright future ahead of them. And isn't that amazing? That the most basic things of life, if we focus on them, life gets exponentially better. Isn't that funny? It's always the basics. And look how our mind is tricking us. Your mind is telling you, oh, I gotta read this book, I gotta watch this video, I gotta learn this, I gotta plan this and this before I can enjoy this, or before I can reach this goal. I gotta have the advanced stuff. No, in every area of life, aren't the basics the most important things? And even in life itself. Even in life itself. The most basic thing is that you are alive and that you're conscious. And the most basic thing is that this is going to end at some point. At some point you are going to die. So if you focus on the fact that you're dying someday, you become aware of the fact that you're conscious and alive. That is the ultimate gift. Because if this wasn't there, nothing else would be there. And I think we have a problem in the Western world. I love the Western world. I'm a patriot. I love Europe. I love America. I love our Western culture. But we have one problem. And I think a lot of other cultures see this. And we feel this as well, unconsciously. And I think that's a big part of the reason why we act disrespectfully to ourselves and why some other cultures maybe don't take us as seriously as we want them to. Because I would say, especially in the West, in other countries as well, of course, because the modern world makes you or wants you to become like this. We've lost connection to the sacred, to the infinite, to call it God, the universe, life itself, because we've lost connection to death. To death. To the realm that is not here, physical, wherever we are coming from and wherever we are going at some point. There's no escaping, right? You get it? There's no escaping. We've all come from there, and we will all go there again at some point. And I think we've lost contact with this, big time, like really, really big time, which makes us not appreciate life. Which makes us very arrogant, which makes us very head-based. We're only living in our head. Which makes us very hyper-rational, which makes us I don't know if it makes us a certain way, but it's just we're missing a complete dimension of life. We're missing a complete dimension. It's as if you wouldn't give a fuck about your health, right? You're super overweight, you're eating shitty, you're drinking alcohol, you're smoking, you're not sleeping well, you're not taking care of your flexibility, your mobility. And you're wondering why you feel so shitty all the time. Well, because there's a whole dimension of life that you're not taking care of, and it's spilling over in all other areas of life. And I think that's something that is, well, I'll take that back. I wanted to say that's probably something that most people know about and they're doing something about it. It's like, no, actually most people smoke, most people drink, most people don't work out, most people eat really shitty processed food, sleep bad, and don't move at all. Yeah, okay, no, most people don't take care of this dimension. But you see what this is doing with people, and you can see it because they just become fat, sick, ugly, disgusting, weak, just everything you don't want to be, right? Oh, you're fat shaming now. No, I'm not. They're literally killing themselves. They're killing themselves. If a whole dimension of life is missing, this is what's happening. This is the example, e.g. health. So here's the next question. Why are even people who are healthy, who are rich, who have all the friends and all the amazing family in the world, fucking unhappy, fucking stressed, not relaxed, feel terrible all the time? Well, because we've collectively lost contact with this dimension of life. The dimension where we all came from. The nothingness, whatever, the infinite, the holiness, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Because there has been more time where you didn't exist, and there will be way more time where you don't exist, where you won't exist, than the time in which you are alive right now. So it sounds like a pretty big dimension to me. And we've kind of collectively lost touch with that. Because we became so arrogant, so focused on ourselves, that we just like push this away further and further and further. And who knows which came first, right? Losing the connection or us becoming like this and then losing the connection through this. It's like, which came first, the egg or the chicken, right? Like, who knows? But I would say losing contact with that. And I don't think it's helping us. Because you've probably met a lot of people. Hell, I've met a lot of people. A lot of my clients are like this. Or were like this. Maybe you've met people. Maybe you are one of them. Who objectively or checklist-like have everything. Health, family, love, money, freedom, business, security, whatever. But this dimension is missing. It's just missing. And they go crazy. They go crazy because at some point, you don't have any surfaces to project your undone shadow work onto. Your unconscious behaviors, your unresolved traumas, your unhealed wounds, everything that's in your shadow, right, as Carl Jung would call it. Everything that you haven't worked on, that you tried to fix by not working on yourself, but by fixing something in the outer world, all of this becomes insanely visible the better your life gets. The better, in quotes, the better. Because at some point you just have enough money. At some point you're just healthy enough. At some point your life is just fun enough. At some point you just have the amazing relationship. And then you have nothing to project your problems onto, right? You can't say, well, if I would only have this much money, then I would be happy. Well, now you have 10x that money and you go, fuck. Well, if I only had this relationship, then I would be happy. Now you have an amazing relationship and you go, fuck. Well, if I would only be free and have my own business, then I would be happy. Now you have that and you're like, fuck. Because you notice, fuck, it's me. A client of mine put it amazing. And put it in an amazing way. He visited me last year and he said, well, it's literally as if there's like a checklist. Like, okay, amazing relationship. Okay, business. Okay, health. Okay, money. Okay, lifestyle. Okay, freedom. And he said, it's as if I'm in this huge white room just looking around like, what now? Well, this is next. This missing dimension. Because the more you get in touch with this dimension, the more you want off it. And the more you get in touch with this dimension, the more you want to play this game called life. You're not looking at it as if it's like checklists or certain things that you want to achieve, right? A very egoic mind, which is great. The ego is great. Don't get fooled by this shit. Oh, the ego is the enemy. You have to get rid of your ego. I'm just meditating all day. I have no ego. Oh, shut the fuck up. The ego is amazing. Just don't get used by it. It's the same with the mind. Right? Oh, I hate my mind. I just want it to be quiet. No, you don't. You really don't. The mind is amazing. Right? Just don't get ruled by it. Just don't make it your tyrant. So, the more we get in touch with this dimension, the more we want to play life and the more, and this is just me thinking freely right now, and the more we actually want to make, I don't want to say make this world a better place because I don't like that. That's this feeling every time when somebody says, well, I just want to make the world a better place. I'm like, bitch, no you don't. You don't. You just want to do something that seems like you're making the world a better place so you can step into the spotlight and everybody's like, great, What an amazing man. What an amazing person. Great. We should all honor him. Amazing. No. The people who really change the world, in my experience, are the ones who work on themselves. And the people who really change something in my life or in the life of others I met, they were relentlessly working on themselves. And they weren't coming from a space of, I want to make the world a better place. They were coming from a space of, I don't want to make the world a worse place because I was here. I don't want to have other people have worse experience in life because of me. I don't want someone to have a worse day because they met me. And this doesn't mean that you never offend somebody. It doesn't mean that you never step on somebody's toes. That's not what it means. It means that you make your unconscious habits, your unconscious behaviors, your shadow so visible, so conscious that they can't act up and ruin your life and other people's lives without you even noticing. And worst case, you actually rationalizing your behavior afterwards. Because the more you're in touch with this, it's called this dimension, remembering that you're going to die, appreciating this life, the more you realize that there came a lot of people before you, the more you honor your ancestors and you don't take all of this for granted and you actually want to learn from your ancestors and not just disregard them. Like, funny enough, a lot of people in the West are doing right now as well, or over the last couple of years. Actually trying to rewrite history or dishonoring their ancestors, which is fucking, it's insane. That's what happens if you lose contact to life and death. If you get too stuck up in your head and think that you are the center of the world, that you are more important than everybody else. Oh, no, you're not. And the other thing is, the more you are in touch with this dimension, and like I said, those of you who already met death, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know this feeling. You become very conscious of that there are people coming after you. And I don't mean like, you get him! Not this kind of after you. Like, get him! Really, there are people coming after me? Really? First you're telling me there's death in the room with me, and now you're telling me there are people coming after me? There are people coming after you. Maybe some guy listening right now who's super paranoid. There are people coming after you. They're coming after you. They're coming to catch you. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm just kidding. No, what I meant is people coming after you. The next generation is coming. And after that, another one. 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 And your life wouldn't be as great as it is right now if your ancestors wouldn't have done a shit ton of work so we can have this, appreciate this. And next generation is coming. And the one after that as well. And the one after that as well. And guess what? The one after that as well. And yes, they will keep coming. Don't worry. All the fearmongers who are saying, the world is ending. Oh, it's ending. We're this close. Climate change is going to get us next year. Oh. Or whatever. Like, I don't know. We're all gonna fall off the edge of the flat earth next year. Ugh. Can you imagine 2022 people think that the world is flat? Man, talking about honoring our ancestors. Imagine Galileo was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He's not turning, he's just rotating like a blender, like just. He's just rotating in his grave. What's this noise on the graveyard? It's just Galileo, don't worry. Oh, okay, got it. A stage 5 earthquake has been measured. No, it's just Galileo. Oh, okay, got it. Anyway. Jesus Christ. Well, there are generations coming after us. My brain is like, do another, they're coming after you joke. No. There are generations coming. And isn't this fucking amazing? Isn't this crazy that we are here, and here again with especially our Western world who is lost in pleasure. Oh, I want more pleasure. I just want to feel better. I just want to feel good. I don't want to wait. It's like, yeah. You know, if you would be conscious of other generations coming after you, you wouldn't be this petty. You wouldn't have all these pet peeves. You would not. You would actually think about how can I not make this world a worse place, and maybe I can even make a little dent in the universe, just changing a little bit because I'm here. Because if you're conscious of the next generations, you're conscious of your ancestors. And you realize, holy fuck, all of this is here because of my ancestors. Fucking hell, I better honor them. And fucking hell, I better do something to deserve the honor of future generations as well. Imagine all the future generations are like, man, those guys sucked, right? Like we had to like fix our shit for at least 100 years. Fuck them. Just erase them from the history books. Just tear out these pages out of the book. We just fuck it. And I think we kind of lost contact with that. And don't worry, I just noticed this could sound like an intro to like, we gotta fix the climate. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. No, don't worry. But I just noticed, damn, that sounded a little bit like an intro for like some 13 or 14-year-old climate change girl is like, how dare you? Anyway, seriously. And you know why is that so important? Your ego or your how do I put it? Your own desires can only get you so far, right? When I look at a lot of my clients, and when I look at myself like 3-4 years ago, yeah, your desires can only get this far. At some point you need a different modus operandi. At some point you need a higher purpose, a deeper connection to life, because more money isn't going to fix it. It's just not. You've probably noticed that. Or if not, I wish that you come to this point, because I want you to have so much money that you finally realize how fucking unimportant money is. But the funny thing is, in my experience, you first have to have a lot of money to realize how unimportant money is. I want you to have so much sex in your life that you realize how unimportant sex actually is. I want you to have so much fame in your life to realize how unimportant fame actually is. I want you to have so much success in your life that you realize how unimportant success actually is in a certain area, from a certain aspect. We all need these things, but at the same time, they're super unimportant. You get what I meant earlier with you see the fabric of life, you kind of see the matrix of life. This is exactly what I meant. Like, yeah, I need this, but holy fuck, it's unimportant. I want this, but holy fuck, it's unimportant. It's both. And this makes you very detached, but very engaged. And everybody, always when somebody is the most detached, but the most engaged, like you're 100% focused, you desire this goal 100%, you put all your energy in it 100%, but at the same time, you don't attach to it, you're just very loose about it, you fucking win at life. Like, you win. There's not even a close second. If the second needs it more than you and is a little less engaged than you, no chance. Like, not even close. And this is where you will get, or maybe you are there already, when you notice, well, just gonna open this kombucha. Well, man, I just hope it doesn't spill everywhere, because this happened to me this week. Apparently I shaked it too much in my backpack, and then I opened it and just party. You will get there, or maybe you are there already, and you notice that you need a deeper connection to life and a higher purpose. And here's where the funny thing comes. Here's the funny part. The more you get in touch with this other connection, or the more you connect with this other dimension, the more conscious you become about your life. And I don't mean conscious in a way how most hippies out there use it, right? No, just you are conscious that you are alive, and you're conscious that you're conscious, and you appreciate the fuck out of it. And you have this deeper connection to life, and you have this higher purpose to life through this, right? Through all of this. Watch your business go through the fucking roof. Watch it go to the moon. You know why? Having a higher connection to this other dimension will give you so much energy, in the beginning, you won't even know what to do with it. You won't know what to do with it. I have client story after client story after client story who experienced this. I experienced it myself. When this started to happen, I had all the energy. I jerked off like a maniac just to get tired, just to get rid of some of this energy. Like, just get rid of it, get rid of it. And every man knows you get very sleepy after sex or after jerking off. It's like, I was jerking off like a maniac just to get rid of this energy. Doesn't work. If you have this connection, you have a deeper connection to life, and you actually want to experience life more. And this gives you a lot of energy. So you have way more energy to experience things, to do things. When you have the connection to this higher purpose, you are working for something that is not just for you, but for your children, for your family, for your friends, for your acquaintances, for humanity, for a certain country, for a certain culture, for whatever floats your boat. It's as if you are connecting with something higher. And then watch your business go through the roof. Because you have so much energy, you have so much creativity, you have such a strong motor running inside of you, such a strong engine, because you're not just doing all of it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself as well, but not just. Watch your relationships go to a completely different level, because you're not afraid to get completely naked, to become completely vulnerable, to just let all the false personas, let them go. And your friendships, your love life, the relationship with your kids, with your parents, with your customers, with your team, with your art that you're doing. Man. Different level, bro. Completely different level. What's your intelligence? Your creativity, your curiosity, your strength, your talents. Watch all of that go through the roof because you have a deeper connection to life and a higher purpose. And to get there, you need to have certain things in life handled. That's what a part of me thinks, and that's what I always thought. Right now, I think I see it a little different. I think if you have this connection, this deeper connection to life and the higher purpose, handling the pragmatic day-to-day things becomes way easier. But there are a lot of people who get lost in this connection to a higher dimension as well, right? And they forgot the pragmatic things. So I always used to think, handle the pragmatic stuff first, right? And then you can go to the whole spiritual and life, death, higher consciousness area. First handle the pragmatic, then this. I think it's different, right? Right now I think differently. Depending on who you are, maybe you are someone who already handled all of his shit. So you have the pragmatic stuff handled. Or you're a pragmatic person, let's put it like this. Maybe it's put like you're very pragmatic, but you don't have a lot of success yet on the amount of success that you want. Then I would tell you, don't just handle a pragmatic thing, go to this other dimension immediately. Because if you're already good at being pragmatic, this will kickstart all of it. And the only reason why you're not getting ahead further and faster than you are right now is because your energy is very low. And we need to get your energy up. And you get your energy up by connecting you to this other dimension, to this higher dimension. So even if you're not at the goals where you want to be, get in touch with that. That's what I would tell you right now. And if you are in touch with that, but you're not very pragmatic, I will tell you, stay in touch with that, but get around people who are highly pragmatic. Just hang out with them. Just hang out with them. It will change your life because you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most, right? And if you have this connection already, be happy about it because most people don't. And now just find people who are very hands-on, very pragmatic, and just hang around them and imitate them. And depending on which side of the equation you are, right? I gave you both examples right now. You know what to do, and it will change your life. Get in touch with this infinite death, life, God, universe, higher frequency, dimension, whatever you want to call it. It will make every pragmatic thing you do in this life a million times easier. Because you know why? A mentor of mine told me this. He's fucking crazy as well, man. Maybe I can get him on the show as well. I'm going to talk to him. He said, the most pragmatic thing in life you can do is to connect with this other dimension. To actually meditate on death daily. To actually connect with God, with higher consciousness, with the universe daily. And to handle your shadow. Because the more you get in touch with that, the more you handle your shadow, right? And he said, it's the most pragmatic thing you can do because everything comes from there. Everything. I still have to think about that a little bit, but so far I would agree. Because this is where life actually is coming from. It's where it starts and where it ends. And if this isn't the highest motivation there is, then I don't know. And can you see how all of this comes back to death? Just want to get back to the topic that we actually started today's podcast with. All of this comes back to death. Because without death, we wouldn't even have this higher connection. If there was just existence, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If you were just here forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. There wouldn't be this connection. There wouldn't be the last generation, the next generation, leaving this place, this world a better place or a worse place, because who cares? I can just clean up later. I'm here forever. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? All of this wouldn't be here without death. Did you hear that? My German accent just came through a little bit. Yes, without death, this would be very terrible. Yeah. And isn't that cool? Because it's easy, right? It's easy. It's easy to think about death on a daily basis. It's easy to connect with life on a daily basis because there's nothing you need to do. You are alive and you are dying. It's literally what you are. There's nothing that you have to do. Just focus on it, just notice it, just remember. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, of course. And then the small petty stuff doesn't annoy you. It doesn't. It does for a second, but then you just let it go. Because you remember, oh yeah, I'm alive, oh yeah, I'm dying. Who cares about this shit? Then all the other fears, I wouldn't say they go away. Some go away, but they just become so small that you are able to handle them. Maybe not in a single instance, but maybe over a couple of days, weeks, month. It happens. All the time that you spend on stuff that you actually didn't want to do, that you actually don't want to do, well, you get that time back because you stop investing your time in shit you don't want to do. And you start doing shit that you want to do, like drinking this kombucha or recording this podcast. Right? I've been running my coaching business for a couple of years now, all in German. Sure, having some international clients, but 90% German. But I wanted to do this for years already, just in English. But I wasn't ready yet. I had to do some inner work. I had to get in touch with this dimension even more. That's why I wanted to talk about this first as well, right, in the first episode. Because I'm growing every day as well, like you are. I'm forgetting death every day as well, like you are. Like I said in the beginning, we are not different. We are not fucking different. We all make the same mistakes, we all do the same bullshit, we all have the same bullshit thoughts. It's life. And isn't that amazing as well? The more you are in touch with death, the more you are in touch with life, the more authentic you become, the more you let go of all these personas, all these walls you put up, all these facades. Because why? At the end, we're all blessed and doomed at the same time. We're blessed that we're alive, so who gives a fuck? And we're doomed because we're dying every second. So who gives a fuck? You become very true to yourself because you get in touch with your soul, right? And there's nothing more valuable than that. Being in touch with your soul, having a clean conscience, living with integrity, following your purpose. What's more valuable than this? There's nothing. There's nothing more valuable than this. You're not living in touch with your soul? Great. All the money in the world won't make you happy. You're not living with integrity? Great. You're not a good role model for your children. You're not following your purpose? Great. No matter how much success you have in your work, in your business, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel drained. You're not living from your heart. You're not appreciating this life. Well, great. You're going to have shitty relationships. Even if you have the most amazing relationships, the most amazing business, the most amazing lifestyle, if this dimension is missing in your life, you're fucked, bro. You are so fucked, it's not even funny. You are so fucked. Holy shit. Because it spills over in every area of life, right? I always have to check if I'm actually recording. It spills over in every area of life. And there's no 3-step process that some bullshit online marketer wants to sell you. Sign up for my free live webinar. And you're like, dude, that's a recording. Like, yeah, but it's you're here to learn something. Dude, you're just selling me something for 2 hours. Yeah, but it's a really good product. Dude, the product sucks. There's not some 3-step plan that some online marketer can sell you. Nope. Doesn't work. It's just you looking every day. You're looking at it. You're looking at the truth. You're looking at the one thing that cannot be altered and that everybody tries to forget. Death. Because when you look at death, you look at life. And looking at life and getting in touch with life is fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. We all take it for granted. And this is not meant as, oh God, we're taking it for granted. What are we doing? No, I'm just like, hey bro, just look. Just look, man. Just look at death. Look at life. Look at the annoying sister, and then you get the amazing sister, and you notice the annoying sister, she's not annoying, she's actually awesome. How fucking cool is that? It's like 2 birds with 1 stone. Like, whoo. Yeah, makes you a very deep person as well, a very, not deep, but very easygoing person. You know, those kind of people who are very exhausting to be around? You're the opposite. You're almost recharging. Not almost, you are recharging because you're in contact with the source. You look at the source every day. It's amazing. So I don't have any, like, I guess slowly I'm going to come to a close because it's, oh, we're for over 1.5 hours already. So it's pretty late, I guess. What time is it actually? Oh, great. 2:15. Yeah, no wonder I'm getting tired. I've got no plan for you, no tip, no do these 3 things. Just stop fucking closing your eyes. Just look at it. Just look at the fact that you're dying. And that everyone you know will die. And once you get over the first shock, because in the first second you may be like, oh, what the hell? And you want to look away again. No, keep looking. Just look. And you get in touch with life deeper than you ever did before. And it's amazing. You just want to experience life. You just want to do your shit. Not anybody else's shit. Not what somebody else wants you to do. No, you just want to do your shit. Yours. And the more you do your shit, what's in your soul, the less harm you do to others. And the better your life becomes. And the lives of the people around you. So there's no complicated plan, whatever. No 3-step system, no 5 bullet point checklist. There's only one thing. I talked about it with a mentor of mine a week ago. There's only one thing. Just fucking look. Just fucking stop closing your eyes. Just stop closing your eyes and look at the things you don't want to look at. And the thing you want to look at the least, all of us want to look at the least, is death itself. So look at death, look at the darkness, and your life will become very bright. So bright you won't even believe it if you haven't experienced it. So have fun. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Share this episode if you liked it, if you enjoyed it. Subscribe on YouTube, the podcast. Give it since it's the first episode, just if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. What's it called? On iTunes, Apple Podcasts, like give it a rating, whatever. And thanks for your time. If you like this, do us both a favor, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and tune into the next episodes, because I have some crazy people coming on the podcast. Some really crazy people. I pre-recorded a lot of episodes already. And also, I have some really cool shit coming for you as well, because my goal, my purpose with this is to just do it with 100% integrity, or authenticity is such a overused word, integrity. And to bring like-minded people who are into this shit, right? You're an entrepreneur, you're an artist, you're self-employed, like life's going great for you, but do you want more of this? Like, yeah, let's get together, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, tune in the next episode. Until then, thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for tuning in, showing up, and I would say until next time.